One
Perfect.
we've talked about a lot here, right? It's the continued growth of AI. It is a big one. I alluded to earlier that weather's a really big data problem. I don't think most people have an appreciation that we're dealing with terabytes and petabytes of data every day, and we have for quite some time. And in order to process all of this, you need pretty massive supercomputers, right? So one of the big benefit that AI is really helping us with, especially on the sustainable front, is to use much less computational power than before. Right? It's also helping us discover things that we couldn't with traditional technology. All of this is happening at a really rapid pace to address challenges in the weather space. So definitely a big trend. It feels like we've been talking about it for a few years, and I think it's just going to continue to be a big part of what we're looking at. The second item, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that weather continues to wreak havoc around the world. We kind of talked a moment ago about, whether it's climate change or urban sprawl, the growth along coastlines. Weather and severe weather has been a problem. It continues to be a big problem, and it's becoming more and more of an impact. You see this in insurance spaces, continuously talking about multi-billion-dollar events and how do we continue to insure folks. We're seeing all sorts of problems. California has the wildfire problems, and we're hearing about similar things with insurance. But there's a lot of people working on solutions to address severe weather, right? Like what used to be about just keeping people safe, it's also becoming this significant economic driver, right? Like we're working with customers actively that are using weather information from everything from managing those financial risks that we've referred to a few times, all the way enabling autonomous vehicles, right? So many of these trends that you hear about in the news, weather plays a pretty big role in helping all of them become the economic drivers that they are. The third bucket is really just concept of just more with less, right? That might include using low energy solar powered IoT equipment, right? That's a nice little example. Or finding ways to extract value from existing networks that were designed for something completely different. Here we operate a global lightning detection network on one of those data points that you saw on the globe. And we're finding all sorts of new applications of that information from things outside of lightning detection. Right? AI is helping a big way in this. On the data and software side, we see a lot of customers doing more with less and having a greater impact. A lot of this happens behind the scenes and people don't always see it, but a good example is, when you have winter weather and you're putting chemicals on the road, there's organizations out there using these latest technologies to put a whole lot less chemicals, yet keep things safe. We see a lot of folks in agriculture using less materials or using them more efficiently. And of course, I alluded to the insurance costs. Keeping insurance costs down, right, while limiting exposure to these companies is a big trend that's going on right now.